Hello, I'm John Tatar, running for the United States House of Representatives in the 11th District on the Libertarian ticket. We the people should know by now that this country is in great peril. It has been brought to you by the two-party system, Republicans and Democrats, who have been in power now for several decades. They have not brought you solutions, and they have not fulfilled their prime objective to protect our life, liberty, or property. These two parties, in fact, have done the opposite. The Republicans were in charge when 9/11 happened. They failed miserably to prevent 9/11, but the most disturbing results were the poor investigation. We needed to get to the truth. The Republicans used this crisis to start a never-ending war on terror, to reduce our freedoms through the Patriot Act and a looming $7 trillion deficit. Later, the Democrats stepped up and further expanded the war on terror in the Middle East and increased the deficit to $16 trillion that we are now plagued with, further reducing our freedoms with the NDAA, TSA, camera on every street corner, and Obamacare. Life in America is facing further destruction by foreclosures caused by the private banking cartel, courts that are beholden to the bankers, bankster bailouts, and shrinking job market. Quantitative easing 1, 2, and 3, and soon to be 4, which is nothing more than printing more money out of thin air as the bankers and the government further erode the value of the American dollar to oblivion and steal the final remains of the American people's wealth. American people are now under the control of the TSA that are molesting travelers, Agenda 21, whose end goal it is to take all private property from the people and force us to live in 450 square foot boxes in population centers. Chemtrails, which are poisoning our very health, along with fluoride in the water, GMO and MSG foods, and vaccinations which are making us sick. The Republicans lied to us on the national television at the Republican convention when they changed the rules of the election and did not allow Ron Paul to speak to the American people, a violation of the First Amendment. The Democrats, we the people, still don't know whether Obama is a natural-born citizen according to the law. Article 2, Section 1, Clause 9 of the Constitution states that no person except a natural-born citizen shall be eligible to the office of president. Both parties have been manipulating the public to keep the war on terror a self-perpetuating war, when in fact the very enemy we have been co-opted to fight resides in Washington. We have been seized by the very government that was established to protect our freedom. This is why I am running for Congress. I am a retired teacher of 31 years and a retired lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve for 31 years. I have seen both spectrums of life, and believe it, if we don't change this course of action this government is moving in, America will not be the country I grew up in just a few short years ago. I am living out my golden years trying to bring sanity to this country and running for Congress when I could be kicking back and enjoying the remaining golden years of my life. It is very apparent that if we don't do something, somebody doesn't do something, no one will be able to enjoy any golden years in the future. As a libertarian, I will push for the limited constitutional government, one that protects the people's life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I will push to not renew the Federal Reserve Charter, which comes due in 2013. The Federal Reserve has been the key driving element that has caused the destruction of the monetary policies of America, filling the pockets of the private bankers while stealing the wealth of the American people. I wonder why our past representatives haven't foreseen this. I will work on repealing all laws that are repugnant to the Constitution, such as the Patriot Act, NDAA, Obamacare, Agenda 21, ICLEI, and the National ID card and chip implants. I will stop chemtrails, require GMO and MSG food labeling, removing fluoride from the water, pushing for truth about vaccinations, and the drugging of America by the pharmaceutical industries. I will push for reduction of the government's wild spending practices. Remember that the Democrats and Republicans have done nothing in the last 100 years to solve any problems. They have been about creating problems, or we wouldn't be in the mess we're in today. We need a change before it's too late. So stand for me and vote for me, John Tatar, in the 11th District on the Libertarian ticket. A vote for the lesser of two evils, Republican or Democrat, is still a vote for evil. Nothing will change, as America slips further and further into the hands of the New World Order private banking cartel, and our America, a once mighty nation, becomes a third world debtor nation of slavery.